Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 Local News for Tuesday, December 30th, 2025. A Yucca Valley man was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder after allegedly stabbing a person outside of their home. On Saturday at around 3:25 p.m., San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies responded to a report of a stabbing in the 98,300 block of Mesa Drive in Yucca Valley. Deputies said that the victim had been stabbed in the abdomen with a knife outside of their home. The victim was taken to a hospital for treatment. Deputies identified the suspect as Donald Crawford, a 59-year-old resident of Yucca Valley. They say they took him into custody at his home in the 68,000 block of Michael Way a short time later. Donald Crawford was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder and is being held at the West Valley Detention Center on $1 million bail. An allegedly drunk woman with a box cutter was found hiding at a Yucca Valley home and is said to have attacked deputies. On Christmas Day at around 1:30 a.m., San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies responded to a home in the 8500 block of Condalia Avenue in Yucca Valley. Witnesses said that the suspect, Yolanda Rodriguez, 25, was hiding behind a wall at their home. Deputies say Rodriguez was found holding a box cutter, and she refused to drop it when asked. Deputies say they eventually took her into custody, but that she resisted being put into the patrol car and kicked a deputy. No injuries were reported. Yolanda Rodriguez was arrested on suspicion of resisting an executive officer and drunken disorderly conduct. She is being held at the West Valley Detention Center on $50,000 bail. The City of 29 Palms Park and Recreation Department is launching their new Dungeons & Dragons Club, inviting teens aged 12 through 17 to embark on a weekly fantasy adventure and collaborative storytelling. A stranger approaches with more information.
The new Dungeons & Dragons Club will meet every Friday at 5 p.m. in Patriotic Hall, and it offers a fun, inclusive, and imaginative environment where local youth can explore the world's most popular tabletop role-playing game. The program features a 10 to 12 session campaign beginning on January 16th, led by an instructor who will guide participants through the fundamentals of gameplay, character creation, teamwork, problem solving, and shaping the story through their choices and dice rolls. Throughout the campaign, players will travel through new worlds, overcome thrilling challenges, and build their own heroic tales. Each participant will also create a personalized character miniature, and they'll also receive their own set of dice to use during sessions and keep as a memento of their adventure. For more information, you can call 760-367-7562, extension 1026. Registration is open until tomorrow, December 31st. It costs $56 and includes all sessions and materials. We'll have a link on our website, Z107.7 FM.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
Among the new laws going into effect as of January 1st, AB 853 will update the California AI Transparency Act, known as CATA, by extending the compliance deadline to August 2nd of this year, requiring disclosures for AI-generated content, as well as the new SB 243 companion chatbot law. Reporter Gabriel Hart takes a closer look at the safeguards between human and artificial intelligence.
Originally signed into law by Gavin Newsom on September 19, 2024, the California AI Transparency Act requires providers of generative AI systems to make AI detection tools available, offer AI users a disclosure that content is AI generated for both obvious and ambiguous elements, and enter into contracts with licensees. The new AB 853 law amends the original act that previously only applied to, quote, covered providers, which is those who create, code, or produce generative AI systems with over 1 million visitors in California. Now, the law will include any large online platforms, AI system hosting platforms, or manufacturers of capture devices, which is video, still photography cameras, and voice recorders. With this wider net, all said providers will have until August 2nd to comply, or else face a $5,000 fine per violation, enforced by the California Attorney General, with each day over the August 2nd date considered a, quote, discrete violation. While this new law might appear a step forward for critics of AI, owner of our local Space Cowboy books, Jean-Paul Garnier, who is also an anti-AI activist, has taken issue with the logic of the new law, suggesting its bedrock of plagiarism would make any such disclosures irrelevant.
The problem with AB 853 is that it's asking the very people that have created LLM tools or so-called artificial intelligence to be responsible for disclosure. Yet these are the very companies that have used plagiarism to train their tools, and the trust is being put in them to protect us against the problem that they have created.
Also going into effect January 1st is SB 243 Companion Chatbot Law, which creates transparency, safety protocol, and reporting obligations to natural language interfaces that provide adaptive, human-like responses to user inputs. However, this will exclude chatbots used for customer service, business functions, video games, voice command, and virtual assistant systems. The law appears in place primarily to protect teenagers from exposure to adult or dangerous content, as exemplified when multiple teens used ChatGPT and Character AI to assist their suicides in 2024. With SB 243, operators must now maintain protocol for preventing suicidal ideation and report annually to the California Office of Suicide Prevention, as well as provide notifications every 3 hours suggesting users take a break with reminders that their companion chatbot is not human. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Gabriel Hart.
In its 8th incarnation, the Desert Fringe Festival will be back and better than ever in April of 2026. Arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas shares the details of how you can be a part of the fun.
Applications are now being accepted for the 2026 Desert Fringe Theater and Cultural Arts Festival, April 17th through 19th, 2026. Desert Fringe, a program of Project Sheba, is in its 8th year of showcasing original, non-traditional, provocative performance art in the city of 29 Palms. The event, designed to establish a forum for promoting cultural equity and community involvement through a progressive arts movement, will offer 3 days of performances, improv, music, and workshops presented by an array of artists. The festival, which is sponsored in part this year by a grant from the Tourism Bureau of 29 Palms, will take place April 17th through 19th, 2026, in and around various locations throughout 29 Palms, such as the Glass Outhouse Art Gallery, Theater 29, the Farmers Market, and others to be announced. Performers interested in being a part of this annual event should fill out and submit the application form on the festival website, highdesertfringe.org. Reporting for Z107.7, this is arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas.
And finally, longtime 29 Palms resident Kenneth Palmer, a dedicated veteran, firefighter, and community servant, passed away on December 23rd in Sparta, Wisconsin. He was 82 years old. Born on April 21st, 1943 in Hammond, Indiana, Kenneth lived a life marked by service, commitment, and resilience. He proudly served over 2 decades in the United States Marine Corps, including 2 tours in Vietnam. His military career spanned more than 20 years and culminated in his retirement from the Marine Corps in 1983. Following his military service, Kenneth continued to serve his community as a fire captain with the 29 Palms Fire Department. Over the course of 21 years with the department, he demonstrated unwavering dedication to public safety and leadership within his team until his retirement. Kenneth also gave generously of his time to the arts and local culture. In 2001, he became involved with Theater 29, where he not only contributed to productions, but also served on the board of directors. Palmer is largely responsible for the installation of the technical bridge, lights, and sound systems, as the former roofing truss factory was gradually transformed into a working community theater. His involvement reflected his belief in the importance of community engagement and creative expression. Former Theater 29 president Gary Daigneault said, quote, "There would be no Theater 29 as we know it today without the unparalleled dedication of Ken Palmer." He was preceded in death by his beloved wife, Faye Palmer, who passed away in 2000, his son, Kenneth M. Palmer, who passed away in 2013, as well as his parents and his brothers and sisters. Kenneth is survived by his daughters, Regina Axelson, Cynthia Palmer, and Karen Shea. He is also remembered by numerous grandchildren and great-grandchildren who carry forward his legacy. Ken will be interred next to his wife at the 29 Palms Cemetery, followed by a celebration of life this spring at Theater 29. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z1077 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmatz.